For me to tell you if you should buy this device, yes or no, I couldn't tell you because we're too early into this whole hype version, right? This is the honeymoon phase. I'm in love. We have to talk. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Firstclicks, and today I want to talk about how the AirPods Max actually ruined my life. Of course, we're 1 week in, so maybe stuff is going to change, but I have to say I am disappointed. I am disappointed in the fact that I cannot watch any movies in spatial audio with anything bigger than a 12.9-inch screen. These headphones have completely ruined my life. I love watching movies. I love it. And I used to love watching movies with just normal speakers, just like my cinema surround sound set. That's how I like to watch movies, especially when I'm with friends. But now, since spatial audio is a thing, I literally can't watch movies. I literally can't watch movies because the Apple TV doesn't support these headphones. So let's just start at the beginning. 1 week with the AirPods Max. What is my impression right now? It's still not a review. I didn't use them long enough. But I gotta have to say, there's a lot of shit that is really great. There's also some shit that should be better, right? And this is, of course, a first generation product, so it's up to you to decide if you trust it, yes or no. Now, my job is just to show you my experience with it and tell you about it, and probably maybe you can for the decision that you have to make. Luckily for you, you have a lot of time on your hands. These headphones are sold out until March 2021. You have a lot of time. Don't worry about it. You don't have to make your decision right now. What is happening? Of course, I started this video off with a little bit of disappointment. So let's just start with the disappointing stuff. The headphones are accessories for the iPhone and iPad. That is probably also why they come with the Lightning connection input. This is just how Apple works. If it's a iPhone accessory, it is going to be delivered with an Lightning port. That's just how it works. Now, you do notice that this device is, of course, an iPhone accessory because, yes, there is a lot of compatibility with Mac and there is some compatibility with other devices, but usually only the iPad and the iPhone is what you want to use this for. Maybe the Mac, fine, but it just doesn't work well, at least not with my Apple TV. I now am kind of addicted to watching movies with spatial audio. And watching movies on a screen like this is the iPhone 12 Pro Max. It's a fine screen, and especially when you're on the go, right? If you're in an Uber in the backseat, you definitely want to watch a movie. You can also pick up your iPad, and it's phenomenal. You feel like you're still in the cinema. You feel like you're still at home. But now that is a thing, it just doesn't really work with anything else. It doesn't work with Apple TV. So when I'm watching movies on my speakers right now, especially when I'm alone, I really wish I could use the headphones because it feels really great. It feels really great to watch a movie with these headphones on, the AirPods Max. Now, why is this such a problem? It's because I feel like Apple products usually are stuff that just work across the line, right? It's just an ecosystem and they should work with the Apple TV as well, and they don't at the moment. I think that for the price that there are right now, I should be able to expect that they would work with the Apple TV. Apart from that, I feel like the headphones, still when I'm adjusting them, I'm not really getting used to these buttons. It feels like the moment I want to adjust these headphones on my face, and of course I gave you an example in the last video that is of course going to be here if you want to see it after this video, or maybe you want to pause this one. So let me just grab them. Oh, so we're gonna get back to that click right there. Yeah, so this is fine, right? But what happens is I just want to do this. I just adjust them a little bit, or I just feel like, oh, they're maybe a little bit too tight on here. I want to adjust the bands. I usually press this right here. These two buttons, right? I don't know if I can show you this. There are two buttons here. This is the crown that also can be clicked. And this is a button that controls either transparency mode or active noise cancellation, right? So that is fine. It works really, really well. These buttons are perfect. The travel is probably good enough, at least for me. Now, it is still a problem for me because it just, apart from having to move this stuff around on your head, because yes, at some point you do feel that they are there. So you just want to adjust them, right? You just want to have them on a little bit of a different spot so it just doesn't clam on these two parts here behind my ear. So you just push it around a little bit so it just gets to another spot, right? It's hard to explain, but this is just stuff that you do. I feel like I do it. I believe other people do it as well, so I'm just gonna say it. But the moment I do that, apart from getting out of the immersion for having to do that after like 2 or 3 hours, you also have these buttons that just activate whatever, transparency mode, and then the whole experience is gone. So this is stuff that, I don't know if it's muscle memory, maybe at some point I'm gonna be able to get used to it. It just doesn't after a week. Now, another thing that I feel like that should be better in the next iteration is this, which makes great ASMR, fucking expensive ASMR as well. These headphones, when you grab the official case and you grab the headphones out of it, for some reason they always just touch each other unless I just pick them up with my hands in between them. So every single time, apart from when I'm distracted, apparently filming a video like now, I just have to pick them up like this, right? Because I don't want them to touch each other. So I'm with my finger in between them here. Because I'm showing it, it's going really weird. But you know what I mean. I have to like put something in between these headphones so they don't bump into each other. And that is I don't know, it's metal, of course. It's not going to break out of a sudden. But if you do this for 5 years straight on the exact same spot, because it will be the exact same spot, I don't know. I don't think that's a good idea. To be honest, I watched the review from Snazzy Labs, and he said just throw away the case because it doesn't really add anything to the experience. I don't know. It for some reason, for me, I have a separate department for my headphones in my bag. It just works really well because I feel like in my bag, if I'm just putting stuff in it, I don't want this to turn around or stuff to get disconnected, which can happen easily, and then it just, I don't know, goes somewhere around in the bag. I just don't like that. So I'm still gonna keep it. But yeah, like if you want to, you are able to just throw away this case, keep it in the box, and whenever you're gonna sell it, just throw it in there if someone likes it. I'm not a terrible, like, I don't have any issues with the case. I also don't really have a love relationship with it. I don't really care about it, but I'm glad Apple made them optional, and probably with some software updates, you will be able to just use the crown or the other button together to just shut them down without the case. That is most of the disappointing stuff that I have seen over this week, right? And again, when I have used them for over a month, then I feel like I can actually tell you more about how it just feels. Is it something that at some point just annoys you, right? Actually, you have to use headphones in different seasons before you can understand how it would fit in your life, right? Because I can imagine that if you use these headphones in the summer, May, you're going to be sweaty as hell. Now, the good stuff. Like I said, spatial audio is amazing. I love spatial audio, especially with movies and TV series and whatever you want to do on it. I hope more developers are going to use spatial audio, or more filmmakers. It's just a really amazing feature, especially if the movie is also like the content that you're watching also has a really great sound mix. That's why I really love Tenet. Tenet is a super movie for spatial audio. I understand that there are a lot of people that are complaining about the sound mix for Tenet. Listen, your speakers suck. That's the only thing that is the problem. I have been to this movie in IMAX. I have seen the movie with my Sonos speakers, and I've seen the movie with spatial audio here. And I can tell you one thing: there's nothing wrong with the sound mix. It's all to do with your speakers. The moment I turn off my home cinema set and I use the speakers from the TV, then you need subtitles. You're gonna need good audio to listen to your movie, and that is the whole problem with these things. Now, it's not a problem, it's a luxury problem for me, because I'm spoiled with these things. And the moment I use my home cinema set, which is amazing, it's still an amazing cinema set, don't worry about it. The problem is that the sound is just, it has to do with the room, probably. I live in a particularly old house, so my actual windows start literally like making sound the moment something happens in, for example, Tenet. The bass starts dropping, stuff started happening, explosions. Like, it actually feels like, for my neighbors as well, that I'm in this movie. And these headphones would be perfect for that, because I could have the almost exact same experience, apart from, of course, the feeling that there is an actual bass, like almost moving my house away from the street. It feels, and it feels like room filling sound, and that is a feature of these headphones that is, I have never seen that before. Not in the AirPods Pro, not in the Beats Solo Pro, which I also had. I told you in the last video. It just feels like you are in a cinema room, because you can hear distance, you can hear subtle changes to the atmosphere in movies, stuff that you can't hear on speakers. Unless you have an insane cinema set. I'm not, no longer talking about Sonos or anything. You need IMAX or an actual Dolby Atmos speaker that is not Dolby Atmos enabled, but actual cinema grade speakers, right? Stuff that you can only hear in the cinema because it's so clean. It's the acoustics in the room are so built for the experience that you need, right? This is the same with these headphones. In these headphones, there are microphones and everything that is just adjusting constantly to your ears, to your surroundings, to whatever. Every situation that I was in, the movies and the sound and the music sounded the same. So where previously I was in a train or there was a lot of noise around me, the headphones had to compensate a lot for that sound. So you could hear differences, subtle differences. Well, I mean, I'm not an audiophile and no stretch of the imagination, but I can hear subtle differences that maybe some people can't. And that was a problem for me. With these headphones, it's not a problem. I can't hear any differences. Maybe if people start to make a real amount of sound, like if you're standing straight next to a fucking jet engine, okay, I haven't tried that. You probably need more expensive headphones for that. But this, for just normal use, it's perfect. I love it. I love these headphones. And then, of course, there's another feature. And that is the Apple ecosystem, which is not necessarily just a feature that is with these headphones, right? You can do, as well as spatial audio, of course, the same thing with the AirPods Pro. The AirPods Pro and the AirPods Max have a feature that can help you with automatically switching to different devices. Now, you have to understand, I have different devices and also on different accounts. I have a US account and I have an EU account. Why? Because I like content, and also because I have lived in the US for a little bit. So there you go. This works that well that even in my other account, my other iCloud account, these devices recognize each other and they still switch. So every single time I go to my Mac Mini downstairs, which is an Intel Mac, I automatically switch over the moment I have them on my head, of course. They switch over and I can start, I don't know, listening to music, I can watch a video on YouTube, and the moment I just get a phone call, I raise up the phone, doesn't matter which phone it is, doesn't matter which account it is. For some reason, I feel like they recognize each other. They have been a family account before though, so maybe that works. I don't know. For some reason in the background, they still think it's a family account, although they're on different regions. Maybe I should get that looked at. But we're getting off topic. What happens is I get a phone call, I raise the phone, I can see the phone call, I can pick it up. While this video is still running, I pick it up, the video pauses itself, and the headphones just go over to the iPhone. But I, of course, have the phone right here. I pick it up, and it's done. The headphones are listening to the phone call, or making me listen to the phone call. And the moment the phone call is over, and I click back on play on the Mac, it just switches back over to the Mac. The moment I go up and go to the M1 Mac Mini and start playing World of Warcraft, the moment I do that, I press on play on the Blizzard Battle.net application, and it switches over to that one. While this Mac here is still playing a video, it pauses that, and it goes over to the game upstairs. So this is just, and of course I hope the Apple TV is going to do that at some point as well. This is just convenience that I feel like is, of course, the opposite of what I was talking about with adjusting the headphones, right? The immersion of being somewhere without even having to think about having headphones on. So you just forget that you have headphones on because it's just natural. You just pick up a phone like you would with your ears. And, well, usually manually you have to pause the video. But you just forget the moment that you have these headphones on, you forget that these headphones are a thing. And I feel like that is what Apple tried to do with all technology, right? They tried to keep convenience in your hands and all the stuff that you have to do manually for that convenience off your hands. And that is what these headphones do really, really well. Again, I know that the AirPods Pro do the exact same thing, although I do believe that with the quality of these headphones, you have a less immersion breaking experience, right? Transparency mode is something that just feels really real. Of course, in the AirPods Pro, it's also feeling really, really real, but it's different. It's a different level of realism. It's a different level of immersion. It's a different level of forgetting that technology is a thing, right? It's just, it's getting out of your way. And that is something that is a feature, of course, from these headphones, and they have to thank Apple for that, and the ecosystem, and of course your wallet, because you're gonna have to have a lot of Apple products to, of course, get in that immersive experience. If you have an Android phone and a Windows PC, I don't know why you're considering this headphone. There's literally no reason. There's no reason. Like, don't do it. But we'll come back to that later. So yeah, I feel like those are the main disappointments and also the main advantages for these headphones that I could notice in 1 week. Again, this is not a review, but if you want an advice right now, I would definitely tell you two things. First of all is go to Faruk, iPhonedo, is a YouTube channel that made a video that is amazing. You can actually, as much as possible, as much as technically possible, listen to the experience that he has when he's wearing the headphone. He actually has mics in his ear that can pick up this spatial audio feature and a bunch of other stuff that the headphones are doing. So you can kind of experience, of course, with the limitations of the speakers, or maybe even the advantages of your speakers or headphones. So you have to keep that in mind, but it will come as close to the experience of AirPods Max as possible from a distance, right? That is the first thing that I would advise you to do. The second thing is you need to discover for yourself if you really like these features, because there is a lot of stuff that will work for you if you are in the Apple ecosystem. If you're not in the Apple ecosystem, if you don't have an iPhone, if you don't have an iPad, there's no reason. There's no reason to buy it. I'm sorry. There's literally no reason. But if you do, and you feel like you need better sounding audio than you have right now, and you also prefer all these features like spatial audio, like switching to various different Macs and iPhones automatically, like it's seamless. If you're willing to wait for the features that hopefully will come to the Apple TV, if that stuff doesn't bother you or is an advantage to you, you're ready to buy yourself some AirPods Max. Again, the advice to get Apple Care Plus with them is still standing. I feel like these devices are really, 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 really well built, but they will break if you put them in water or you're sweating a lot or anything is happening to them that they're not built for. I feel like they can break pretty easily with those use cases, and you don't want to end up ruining your €629 or $550 headphones. That's not what you want. So I hope you guys learned something. I hope you guys are able to leave a like, leave a comment with like your experiences or thoughts about these headphones, and of course subscribe. And for now, I hope you guys click on it.